This is Miss Barnett, and you guys obviously know that I am not here today. And so what I want to do with you is do a pretty brief review on what plot elements are as we get back into our literature unit. It'll be a good way for you guys to remember what a story should go like as far as how the beginning, the middle, and the end go. And we can use this to build into some further projects later on, but we're going to review some of this a little bit and get your brains going on what elements of a plot are and how a story should be built. So what we're going to do is go through this PowerPoint together, and I want you to, first off, there's this really cool chart that I found, and what I want you guys to do is draw this in your notebooks exactly like you see it. It'll be really helpful and it'll be a great review tool for later. But we're going to go over the different parts of this together. We'll start, remember, right, so a story should have three basic parts. You should have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then these elements just fill in the voids in between the beginning, the middle, and the end. So we'll start with the exposition, which is how we are introduced into our story, film, whatever we're doing, and we will meet the characters and we'll figure out the setting. We will always really quickly figure out the conflict too, right? So in our introduction, we are more than likely introduced to a conflict, and our conflict is, it's the problem, right? We figure out the antagonist and the protagonist and what challenges they are facing. These two first parts of the plot will begin to create what we call rising action. What are these characters doing to begin to resolve the problem? It's going to be a series of events and different character actions as they fumble or however get through the problem, okay? So slowly and steadily they are trying to figure out how to resolve whatever problem they are facing, okay? And as these events and actions build upon each other, they are all going to lead to the climax, which is the top of the mountain. So you can think about your characters. They are doing everything in their power to climb the top, to the top of the hill and overcome this big challenge that they are facing, which, I mean, the climax is a huge turning point in any story. It's good, bad, whatever. It is this major turning point that will allow the characters to either come closer to resolving their conflict or not, but it's a big, big deal. And this climax always creates what we call falling action. So more or less the story is beginning to wind up. Their efforts are either recognized or not, but everything is, it's like they're rolling down the hill, okay? And as they are rolling down the hill, they are rolling towards a resolution of some kind. They are going to tie up all the loose ends, whether they are good, bad, or in between. Everything is going to come together in one final resolution. So we can go through that again, just because this is really, really fast. So the exposition is the beginning. You meet the characters or in the setting. They come to some sort of conflict, problem, something that is challenging them in some way, which leads then to the rising action. The characters have to do something to try to overcome their problem. And then they come to the top of the hill, top of the mountain, to a climax which turns the story in some direction to falling action, which will allow for the characters to come to some sort of resolution at the very end, okay? So now we're going to watch this video together, and I want you guys to make this chart without the pieces in it, and you guys will watch, as you watch the video, fill in what goes on to tell me what the elements are of this particular video, okay? So just hang on a second and we'll watch this video together. Alright, so now we've watched this video and hopefully we can use the information from the video to fill in our chart with the elements, okay? So remember, we need to start at the beginning, which is the exposition. It's pretty simple and straightforward in this case. We see that there are 3 pigeons, baby pigeons in a nest, and their setting in this case is the roof of a building. We come to the conflict really rapidly in this particular video. There's no guessing about what the problem is. We see right away that they are hungry. They are baby pigeons, they are in a nest, there is no mother bird, no mother pigeon around, and so it's pretty easy to conclude that they are hungry. They waste no time in going to the rising action, which is we see. Alright, so now we've watched this video and hopefully we can use the information from the video to fill in our chart with the elements, okay? So remember, we need to start at the beginning, which is the exposition. It's pretty simple and straightforward in this case. We see that there are 3 pigeons, baby pigeons in a nest, and their setting in this case is the roof of a building. We come to the conflict really rapidly in this particular video. There's no guessing about what the problem is. We see right away that they are hungry. They are baby pigeons, they are in a nest, there is no mother bird, no mother pigeon around, and so it's pretty easy to conclude that they are hungry. They waste no time in going to the rising action, which is we see one of them happen to notice the cupcake on a ledge, and ding ding ding, light bulb moment, right? Oh, we can eat that cupcake. That's what we should do because we're hungry. We should try to eat a cupcake. The rising action events are them standing on their heads, standing on each other's heads to try to get to the cupcake. And then the second major event happens when they try to use a teeter-totter to shoot themselves up onto the ledge to get the cupcake. This particular climax is, remember when the little birdie gets shot up in the air and then as he is falling down he misses the ledge and misses the cupcake? That would be your turning point in the story. So you have to realize that they have come to this point, they are out of options, they can't get the cupcake. The story points now downhill. Remember, your falling action is you falling down the hill. So they are back in their nest. They are hungry still, and they are sad and upset because they were not able to get the cupcake. So think about the rising action of them trying to get the cupcake, and the falling action is them not getting the cupcake. This has kind of a different resolution though, because they do eventually get food in the end, but it's not how they thought they were going to get it, so it's kind of a plot twist. They do get food from an outside source, their mother, which is the resolution in this case. They are able to solve their problem, right? The problem was they were hungry, they didn't have any food, and now they do have food. So this basically, you guys, in a nutshell, is how to use a series of events to find the plot in a story. You use the elements and go through the motions, okay? What I want you guys to do now is get on the wiki space that I have provided for you. You all know how to do that. Go to the link under resources, and then there will be yet another link to a web quest that I have created for you guys. There's going to be a set of videos for you to watch, more Pixar short films, rather than you guys having to read short stories. As you go through those, there's a PowerPoint, and I have explained the steps in my wiki for you. When you guys get done with that, go ahead and fill out the worksheets, and then you guys are going to be allowed to call it a day. But please make sure you get all your worksheets done before you finish up and leave the classroom. I will see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for participating in my brief little review. We'll see you guys tomorrow.